You are my only company. I'm inside a hot car. I volunteered to do this because as a mom, it shakes me to my core when I hear about kids losing their lives after being forgotten in hot cars. I'm trying to hear the nurse outside. He said that my heart rate has already gone up 20 BPM. And here again, I've only been in the car 3 minutes. It's funny, my instinct is to reach for water. And you just imagine a child in here trapped with no way to get out, no way to hydrate. It brings tears to your eyes when you experience this. It really does. We're nearing 130 degrees. And so it's an oven. You're inside an oven and you're baking. Are we at time?
We're done.
We've hit 15 minutes. We're done. You don't know how cool the outside air feels coming into this car right now.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna slide out this way. It feels cool. It feels like I just opened a refrigerator door and I've got cool air hitting me. It's amazing.
No charges yet tonight for a 31-year-old father arrested after police say he left his 2-year-old daughter trapped inside a hot car in Republic earlier this week. Thankfully, a neighbor found that little girl in time. As a mother, I want to help first responders get the message across to parents everywhere. So under the supervision of paramedics, I shut myself inside a hot car for 20 minutes.
I want my water so bad.
Imagine how a kid feels.
No, I can't imagine.
A lot of people can't. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let your sleeve up here.
I volunteered to do this because as a mom, it shakes me to my core when I hear about kids losing their lives after being forgotten in hot cars. We are in here with no water. I have hydrated before getting in here, keeping in mind that I'm an adult, not a kid. And so anybody who has been around kids or has kids, you know how much more this affects little ones.
She's, obviously young and healthy and in good shape.
Trying to hear the nurse outside. He said that my heart rate has already gone up 20 BPM. And here again, I've only been in the car 3 minutes.
Her stats are still the same, which I don't really anticipate changing.
Just imagine a child in here trapped with no way to get out, no way to hydrate. It brings tears to your eyes when you experience this. It really does.
We're so concerned about our kids being left in the car because they can't regulate their body temperature.
So the temperature right now has climbed up to 120 degrees now. We've got a couple minutes left inside the car.
Right now her body's telling her to sweat. Her heart rate's going to accelerate to compensate.
My heart rate has definitely increased and I'm hanging in there. I still feel okay, and so we're going to try to make it the rest of the time.
She'll breathe faster, and that's her body's way of trying to adjust to this rapid temperature change to where a child just doesn't have that ability up until a certain age.
I just hope that this serves as a reminder that you can't leave that baby in the back seat. You can't. It has to be your first thought and your last thought and every thought in between. We're nearing 130 degrees. Gosh, my words aren't coming, but I just want to take a breath, take a beat, because I do feel that I'm getting very warm. Are we at time?
We're done.
We've hit 15 minutes. We're done. You don't know how cool the outside air feels coming into this car right now. It feels like I just opened a refrigerator door and I've got cool air hitting me. It's amazing.
Number one thing is get you out of the source.
Little ones are fighters, but they can only fight for so long until they're so exhausted that their body just stops. And they say, I can't do it anymore.
Your heart rate initially started at 105, and then as the blood pressures were taken, you notice they continuously go up and trend. You started at 138/91, and right here you hit 150/100 with a heart rate of 133. You were hitting 140s, 150s.
And that would be somebody running outside in the heat. That's what their heart rate would be. I was just sitting there very still.
When it gets that high, your body is literally trying to shut everything away and keep your inner body, your main organs, the strength that they need.
Takeaway from the paramedics: it may seem silly to you, but make a habit out of leaving your phone or your purse in the back seat with your child every time, something that you won't forget. I was live streaming that whole experience on my Facebook page. Just head to my page to watch the entire thing, and please share it to get the message across.
You are my only company. I'm inside a hot car. I volunteered to do this because as a mom, it shakes me to my core when I hear about kids losing their lives after being forgotten in hot cars. And I wanted to drive home the message, what it feels like to be inside a vehicle. So we've just started not even 2 minutes ago right now, and we are in here with no water. I have hydrated before getting in here, and I want to show you. I've got, this is a heart rate monitor. They've got an oxygen monitor on me. They're also monitoring my blood pressure. We've got a nurse out here, if you can see him, and over here to my right, you can see the paramedics, and they are monitoring these devices very closely so that they can make sure that we stay within a safe range. It's hot. You really do bake inside a vehicle. I'm praying to God that He keeps me safe, and I know I have the best team here at Cox Hospital monitoring me, but again, our goal was to just simply see the effect on the human body, keeping in mind that I'm an adult, not a kid. And so anybody who has been around kids or has kids, you know how much more this affects little ones. They just can't stand the heat. Their bodies are not conditioned for it. So it's warm, and I'm actually watching my photographer outside the car. I don't know if you can see him torture me by drinking water outside. And I will be going without water for the time being. But I do feel a little better just having a little bit of company. It's amazing how fast the temperature is climbing. And I had a temperature gun in here, which it may have gotten put away. I don't know what the temperature is in the car right now. I'm looking for that right now. Let me see if it's under this device. I'm hooked up to so many machines, it's kind of hard to see. But there it is. Okay, we're at 110 degrees. I might do better not looking at that temperature monitor because that is high. Trying to hear the nurse outside. He said that my heart rate has already gone up 20 BPM. And here again, I've only been in the car 3 minutes. Let me show you here on my arm the devices that we have for heart rate, for blood pressure, and then I've got these at 4 different points on my legs as well. I don't know if you can get a shot of that. You can get a shot. I'm the one getting the shot. I'm so used to talking to a photographer. I didn't know if you could see that, but I've got 4 different monitoring points for my heart rate here. About 3.5 minutes here in the car. And I'll give you a look at what's going on outside the car. That's the nurse, that's Jason Martin. And he's monitoring my vital signs constantly. It's funny, my instinct is to reach for water. And you just imagine a child in here trapped with no way to get out, no way to hydrate. Just, it brings tears to your eyes when you experience this. It really does. So we've got a camera on me here from the inside. And then you can see Tom Schulteis, one of our photographers. He's actually our chief photographer. He's got the camera there on the outside of the vehicle. And keep in mind, it's not cool outside either. It's nearly 100 degrees outside. The difference is, you of course have the airflow. I want to give a thumbs up to the paramedic over here that we're still doing okay. They need that verbal confirmation. And definitely don't want to be a hero here, you know. not trying to do anything dangerous, but I am hoping to drive home the message that you just can't be too careful. Want to respond to some of the live check-ins that we're getting here. J.S. Bradbury. I definitely know that my baby needs his mama, and Grandma told me today, don't do it. And so definitely a lot of prayers going into this, a lot of hydration, and just staying calm, and I'm not going to push myself too far. But I did want to get a read on how vital signs change when you're in this type of situation. And of course you can see the sweat. I do want to point out I brought a towel in with me. It's a dry towel. There's no cooling mechanism here, just for, some of the sweat as it comes to try to, I want to let the sweat cool me, but at the same time, just to try to stop it up a little bit if I need to. I have that with me. And Tom Schulteis over here getting that shot of me right now. He's shooting me, I'm shooting him. Let's do a check as to how I'm feeling, because we've been in here 5 minutes. And I can tell you that it's hot. That's the first adjective that I would use to describe the interior of this vehicle right now. And I can definitely feel my heart rate changing. I don't know exactly where it is because I can't see the monitor for myself, but it's getting hotter, definitely, very quickly. Very quickly. At the beginning, it didn't seem like it heated up that fast, but right now it is getting hot very quickly. So I'm communicating with my photographer here. I thought he was asking if I was okay, so I gave him a thumbs up, but I think he was asking if I was ready to say something on camera through the window, and he's nodding yes. That's what he was asking. So we've been in here, gosh, 7 minutes? Does that sound about right? Okay. So I'm going to do a stand-up through the window. We call it a stand-up whenever you talk to the camera directly in news. So we are about halfway through our 15 minutes. 3, 2, 1. We're about halfway through our 15 minutes inside the hot car, and I can tell you within the last 2 to 3 minutes, the temperature has gone up significantly. We started out just under 100 degrees, and we are now at 112 degrees. Remember, I have no water inside the vehicle. I have no other device to try to keep me cool, the same as it would be for a little child, except remember, a child gets hotter much quicker, and their bodies cannot fight the heat the way an adult body can. So it's definitely heating up. Want to respond to Kelly Hedberg. She said, I could see the sweat. I can see it too, dripping down my nose. I can feel it. Definitely wanted to put on a t-shirt for this project today. Ran home and did that, and Grandma was at the house watching baby Theodore, and that's whenever she told me, you are not going to do this. And stuff. And definitely always try to listen to my mom. And so that's when I said some extra prayers, because you don't know for sure how the body is going to respond. And so just want to let you guys know that's why we're being monitored, because you just can't be too careful. And I absolutely believe that. And I'm not a crazy person who's going to say that I'll do anything for a story, because I won't. However, this is a cause that's very important to all of us who are parents. And you say, but for the grace of God, it seems like it could happen to even a good parent. And so I just hope that this serves as a reminder that you can't leave that baby in the back seat. You can't. It has to be your first thought and your last thought, and every thought in between is the baby. and you just feel complete, my words aren't coming, but you just feel badly, I guess, is the best way I could say it, for parents who do experience that. And you think about the parent who lost twins in the backseat of a vehicle, and God forbid, you just can't imagine it. Even from a reminder, from the standpoint of being out in the heat with a baby, being out in the heat with a toddler, being out in the heat with a dog like I have, because he's a furry bug. They cannot stand the heat in the same way, and so you've got to keep that in mind. Definitely, I see Julia commenting on here, not to forget about animals. You're absolutely right. You can't leave an animal in the car, even if it's inconvenient for you. That should not be a factor. It can't be a factor. So good reminder there from Julia. And parents, I think you definitely know what I'm trying to get home in terms of the message, but there isn't a parent that I talk to, especially dads, who say, well, gosh, when the baby falls asleep, and you're running in and you're doing your errands, you may forget about it, and definitely so. That's why you say, therefore, you just pray for the grace that doesn't happen to you. Definitely feeling the sweat really start to roll, thank God. Thank you, Lord, for the hydration I was able to get in today. Definitely feel the heart rate speeding up and stuff. So here is the heart rate monitor that I'm on, and I'm actually going to put this over here and see if you can see what it's telling us here. 134, it jumped up to 124, looks like. So we started out below 100, so that has jumped up for us. And we've been in here, we're getting close to our 15 minutes, we really are. We've been in here at least 10 minutes. And so we're good, and we want to give a good sign to the paramedic. Do you know how much time has passed? 5 more minutes. Okay. He's telling me 5 more minutes, and that's Tracy there. He's monitoring us closely, and we've got 5 minutes to go. So we're actually 2/3 of the way there. It's funny. It's my thought immediately as I'm sitting here is to reach for water. It's just, I never try to go hardly anywhere without my water bottle. I'm so used to having it. And I was a nursing mom for so many months with my baby, and coming toward the end of that journey now. But for that, you have to be super hydrated as well. And so I think that's what really got me in the habit of constantly being hydrated. And so when your body starts to feel that it's getting dehydrated, you reach for that water, and there is no water to reach for. The water's on the other side of the door, and you just think about a child being in here. Michelle and Ryan Long saying that their air conditioning went out last week, and their temperature inside their house was getting up near 90. Yeah, you can definitely feel that when you're sitting there. It just zaps you. Kelly wants to know if I feel that my anxiety level is increased. Kelly, I felt nervous actually getting into the vehicle and knowing that I was going to do this. I thought, gosh, I don't want to do this. But I just felt in my heart that it was the right thing to do. And am I getting more anxiety now? I wouldn't say anxiety. It's just that my heart is beating a little bit faster. And so that maybe makes you feel a little more anxious from that standpoint. And Alicia, thank you for that encouragement. I definitely appreciate it. Let's show Tom shooting in here again. I've got another camera in here, so we have the inside view. And actually want to check in with that camera real quick. I have been inside this car for going on about 12 minutes right now as the temperature has steadily climbed. I want to do a temperature check. It is 118 degrees inside this vehicle. No open doors, no open windows. Of course, it's very hot outside today. And again, I've got about 3 minutes left to endure inside this hot car. All my vitals are being monitored, so we are definitely staying safe there. I'm going to talk to that camera one more time. I've got multiple cameras. It's crazy. We have about 2.5 minutes left inside the hot car. This is how long a child was left inside the car earlier this week in Republic. Thank God that child survived. But as we all know, that's not always the case. And so we just wanted to experience what it would be like to be inside a vehicle. So the temperature right now has climbed up to 120 degrees now. We've got a couple minutes left inside the car. My heart rate has definitely increased, and I'm hanging in there. I still feel okay, and so we're going to try to make it the rest of the time. Okay, so and now I'm going to talk to the other camera here. Just did a temperature check. We are now climbing above 120 degrees inside this vehicle. Keep in mind, I have been inside the car less than 15 minutes. A child survived being in a car 15 minutes earlier this week, but as we all know, sadly, that is not always the case, and you can definitely see why. All right, so talking to the other cameras right now, so that we can actually use that in our pieces for the news later. And if you're wondering how I'm going to go back and anchor the news, this is not what. This is just to simply help me not cool down, just help me with the massive amounts of sweat. If you're wondering how I'm going to do the news later, the answer is I'm going to make a mad dash home to try to shower and still somehow get back in time to put this piece together. Still feel all right, but again, it's not necessarily just how I feel. They've got to monitor the vitals, so they've got multiple devices here for oxygen, for blood pressure, for heart rate. The green and red cords that you see and the white cord here, those are all for heart rate. I just want to take a breath, take a beat, because I do feel that I'm getting very warm. I don't feel dizzy. I feel okay. I have a feeling that, a lot of times when you're getting dehydrated and when you're overheating, it hits you later. You get that headache and you thought, gosh, I didn't realize I was getting that hot. I definitely realize I'm getting hot right now. I'm just trying to take a beat as we get near this 15-minute mark, which we are very close to. It's 126 degrees in the car right now. It is now 126 degrees inside the vehicle, and we still have not reached the 15-minute mark. So again, imagine, God forbid, an infant child or a toddler inside the back of this car. Just want to drive home that message for later. We're nearing 130 degrees. And so it's an oven. You're inside an oven and you're baking. I want to reiterate that with our camera here. It's definitely an oven. You're inside the oven and you're baking. Are we at time?
We're done.
We've hit 15 minutes. We're done. You don't know how cool the outside air feels coming into this car right now.
Go ahead and stand up.
Okay. So we're going to slide out this way. Can I detach these, or is that okay? Leave them on? Okay, so we can see how we do standing. Okay, thank you. It's amazing, you think it's so hot outside, but when the air comes into the vehicle, it feels cool. It feels like I just opened a refrigerator door, and I've got cool air hitting me. It's amazing.
Do you feel lightheaded or dizzy?
No, I do not. I actually feel all right.
Are you having tuxedo?
Okay.